First-time buyers would be exempt from stamp duty when buying homes for less than £300,000 under a Labour government, Ed Miliband will say. The Labour leader will call for urgent action to tackle low house building levels and falling home ownership. Under Labour's plans, local residents would get first call on up to half of new homes in their area for a time. The Conservatives said Labour's plans were unfunded and they had cut stamp duty for most people since 2010. Labour's panicky announcement would cost more than twice as much as it was claiming, a Conservative spokesman added. In other election news, representatives of 5,000 small businesses have signed a letter calling for the Conservatives to be given the chance to finish what they started. Senior Democratic Unionist politician Nigel Dodds warned in The Guardian that the Conservatives risk abusing the Commons with English votes for English laws. DUP election candidate Jim Wells resigned as Northern Ireland Health Minister after a string of controversial comments. The Green Party will announce a policy to cap annual rent increases to inflation as measured by the Consumer Price Index. SNP leader Nicola Sturgeon said that even if her party won every seat in Scotland it would not be a mandate for another independence referendum. Nick Clegg says every Liberal Democrat held and target seat is being fought like a by-election as his party seeks to retain influence. In a speech in Stockton, Teesside, addressing the modern housing crisis, Mr. Miliband will pledge to help young people onto the housing ladder. There's nothing more British than the dream of home ownership, and home ownership is out of reach for so many people in our country, he will say. It's the right thing to do to enable people to get back on the housing ladder, and that's what a Labour government will do. The centrepiece of Labour's plan is a pledge to give first-time buyers a stamp duty holiday on purchases of under $300,000. The measure would apply only in the first 3 years of a Labour government and, the party says, would cost £225 million. It would be funded by a clampdown on landlords who avoid tax, a cut in tax relief for landlords who fail to maintain properties, and increased taxes for foreign property investors. Gimmicks. Buyers currently pay nothing on the first £125,000 of a home's value and are then charged on a sliding scale, starting with 2% on the next £125,000, 5% on the following £675,000, 10% on the next £575,000 and 12% on homes over £1.5 million. Another Labour proposal is to give first-time buyers that have lived in an area for more than 3 years first refusal on up to half of homes built there, while ensuring new properties are also advertised locally. It is no good people seeing houses going up in their community, if they are then not able to buy them because they are snapped up by investors from overseas, Mr. Miliband will say. Shadow Communities Secretary Hilary Benn told the BBC Labour envisaged giving local residents about 2 months to register their interest, saying this would strike a fair balance between helping people onto the housing ladder without damaging the mobility underpinning the market. According to land registry figures published in February, the average house price in England and Wales is £180,252 and is below £300,000 in every region except London. The figure in the capital is £463,872. The Conservatives said the last Labour government had tried a similar stamp duty holiday in early 2010 and it had failed to increase affordability. On the basis of current market values, the Conservatives said the stamp duty exemptions would cost £1,600 for every home purchased, at a total cost of more than £500 million. Coming from the people who crashed the housing market and repeatedly raised stamp duty, this won't distract from Ed Miliband's inability to say what deals he will make with the SNP to prop him up in Downing Street, a party spokesman said. In contrast to Ed Miliband's gimmicks, because of our balanced economic plan, we've been able to deliver lasting reforms, cutting stamp duty for 98% of people who would have paid it. On Sunday, Labour pledged to introduce standard 3-year tenancies with rent rises capped at inflation, a move the Conservatives said was destined to force up rents, reduce investment in housing and lead to poorer quality accommodation. Investment vehicles. But the Green Party will back a similar approach on Monday, as part of a package of measures aimed at making the private rented sector fairer for tenants. Leader Natalie Bennett will say, as it stands, the private rental market is structured in a way that benefits landlords over tenants, and treats homes as investment vehicles. As more people rent, rather than own, their homes, it is vital that we correct this imbalance. The Conservatives have made an extension of right to buy, the scheme offering council house tenants the chance to buy their home at a discount, to about 1.3 million people who live in housing association accommodation, a key feature of their manifesto. They are also pledging discounted homes for first-time buyers, a £1 fund to unlock sites for 400,000 brownfield homes, and an extension of the Help to Buy scheme aimed at first-time buyers. The Lib Dems say they would increase house building to 300,000 a year and help young people living with their parents to raise cash for a housing deposit. They dismissed Labour's stamp duty plans as unfunded. No one should trust Labour to deliver this commitment because their sums simply do not add up, a spokesman said. The Liberal Democrats have been honest about our spending plans, it's time Labour and the Tories did the same.